855-347-3696. That's the number to call if you are listening to the podcast when we do not do the live broadcast. If you are listening after the live broadcast, the number 855-347-3696. During the broadcast, in order to speak to me live and in person, 866-582-9933, 866-582-9933. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, and the books have been cooked. It appears that the books have been cooked. You know, we get up and we stand up and we said that there's fraud in medicine, that basically medicine equals fraud, that the leading cause of death in the United States is MD-directed medicine, that while MDs have been driving the bus of medicine, our health goes to hell in a handbasket. We've lost the war on cancer. The pharmaceutical industry controls everybody, and, you know, people, by and large, sit back and they think, oh, that Dr. Glidden, he's just exaggerating. Oh, that Dr. Glidden, he should change his middle name to hyperbole. Oh, that Dr. Glidden, it's just a little bit of obfuscation and a little bit of, just a little over the top, right? Wrong. The stuff that I talk about is so outrageous that it seems like it couldn't possibly be true until, of course, somebody else comes along and backs me up. You want to know who's backing me up, finally? The largest medical journal in the world. The largest medical journal in the world. The name of it is PLOS. I'm going to read you, by the way, this article is posted right on the front page of FireYourMDNow.com. FireYourMDNow.com. In August 2005, this happened a few years ago, an article appeared in this journal which, by the way, this journal does not permit drug advertising and has the most stringent conflict of interest rules for authors. The article was entitled, Why Most Published Research Findings Are False. The author teaches medicine in Greece and the U.S. and is known to American medical students from JAMA Evidence, the Bible for evidence-based clinical practice. His article began, There is increasing concern that most current published research findings are false. Claimed research findings may often be simply accurate measures of the prevailing bias. Not surprisingly, this promoted quite a stir. A lot of people chimed in about this. A lot of governments passed bills trying to regulate medical research, but the fact of the matter is that the books have been cooked, and that the majority of people advising drug companies about the safety and efficacy of drugs work for the companies that make the drugs. And that the pharmaceutical industry's interest inside of major medical research publications is so deep, so intrinsic, and so now just an enmeshed part of the publishing culture that basically medical journals have become little more than public relations firms for drug companies. And they publish consistently research that is biased, consistently research that is flawed. And where is the best place to hide something? In plain sight, right? In plain sight. I'll give you just a little taste here. As reported in March, a team of 100 scientists tried to replicate the results of 53 of one of the most widely cited landmark cancer research papers. This reanalysis resulted in only 6 research studies being validated. The rest are bogus. That means 40, let's do a little math here, 47 of the 53 published research papers were bogus. Shockingly, this was not a big pharma-generated junk science, but came from university researchers who misled companies wanting to use their research for new cancer drugs. So this means that even when the drug companies don't have directly their fingers in the cake, the university directors, the people in charge of the research at the university, cook the books in order to make their results look favorable so they'll get drug company money. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. I mean, nobody goes to jail. There are no lawsuits. We all just shake our heads and walk away. Oh, those crazy researchers. Oh, we give them a pass. 780,000 people a year are killed because they went to see an MD. We give them a pass. 600 billion spent on cancer research. We still aren't even close to a cure. We give them a pass. Just as many people get cancer now as they ever did. Heart disease rates are rising. We give them a pass. Blood pressure rates are rising. No pun intended. We give them a pass. Autism, Alzheimer's, rising. We give them a pass. Leading cause of death, MD-directed medical treatments, we give them a pass. We give them a pass so much that we continue to give them our hard-earned dollars in medical insurance payments every day, every month. Every month. We let them take money out of our paycheck to pay for insurance. Every week. You've got to be kidding me. It's time we woke up, ladies and gentlemen, and stopped the insanity, stopped the madness. Healing is easy. Surgery is complicated. Healing is easy. If you are sick and tired of being played, if you are sick and tired of being gamed, if you are sick and tired of, quite frankly, being lied to and being harmed, being injured, being misled, being killed, having your relatives killed by the conventional medical system, if you're sick and tired of it, well, you've come to exactly the right place. Here's what you have to do. Go to fireyourmdnow.com. Click on the longevity button and join us as a member. It costs $10 to become a member. That's the smallest entry-level fee of any health recovery club in the whole country you're ever going to find. $10 to join us as a member. If you're serious about making money, if you really want to chuck your old JOB and sign up for a new JOB and have this networked business, this helping us spread our message of health recovery through medical nutrition as far and as wide as quickly as possible. If you want to do this full time, then you join us for $399. That gives you $120 of nutritional supplements. So really, you're joining us at a total out-of-pocket cost of $288, because you're going to get $120 back in nutritional supplements. $399 will change your life, ladies and gentlemen. When you become an active member of the Longevity Organization, we will show you Dr. Wallach's methods of health recovery through science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. We will show you how to turn your friends and family members onto this message. We will show you how to show this message to people in a way that attracts them to you instead of in a way that makes them run away from you. And this is how we're going to change the world. We're just going to stop using Big Pharma. We're going to stop using MDs. The happiest day of my life is when I'm going to drive down the road, and on the side of the road at the big intersection where the homeless people usually stand with their hands out for money, you know, Vietnam vet, out of work, need help, right? You're going to see 16 MDs lined up. We'll do tonsillectomy for food, right? We'll take high blood pressure for 25 cents, whatever, because we're going to put them out of a job. We're going to put them out of a job because you do not need them unless you're in a car accident. You do not need them unless you have trauma. That's what they're good at. That's the only time you should see an MD. It's if you've had trauma. For everything else, they stink. This is how we're going to change the world. We're going to stop using them. Just stop it. You know, unless Obama's health care goes through, then they're going to make it mandatory for you to see the MD. Well, not to see the MD, but to carry health insurance. They're going to fine you if you don't. But let them find me. You can find me as much as you want. I am not going to buy health insurance that gives me access to this type of nonsense, because it's necessary. You know how many years in my life I've had medical insurance? I'm 54 years old. 0! Not that I paid for it. I don't know if my parents paid for it. They're both dead. That was years and years and years and years ago. God rest their souls. Since I've been an adult on my own, you know how many medical insurance policies I've owned? 0! Because I've been involved with holistic medicine my entire life. And when you do things holistically, the only thing you need the MDs for is trauma and emergency medicine. Heaven forbid you break your leg, get a bullet in your arm, whatever. That's what those guys are good for. But for everything else, they stink. So here's what you want to do. You want to go to fireyourmdnow.com, click on the longevity button, and join us. I will put you in the network, and I will hook you up with one of my distributors. And they will teach you and hold your hand and show you how to spread this message as far and as wide as quickly as possible. We will show you how to make money at this. Every army needs to be paid. We're building an army. You know, an army of health givers. An army of health givers. That's not a bad army to be a part of. You stick with me for 6 months, log on to my webinars, sign up for my online health recovery program. You will know in 6 months of hanging out with me and the greater longevity family, you will know more about how to help people recover their health than your MD with a general family practice does, and I am not exaggerating. It sounds like I am, but I'm not. There are thousands of longevity distributors in this company, thousands of longevity distributors who have helped people in their families, people in their communities, people in their churches recover from congestive heart failure, type 2 diabetes, arthritis, osteoporosis, fibromyalgia, ADD, depression, etc., etc., etc. Do we treat disease? No. Do we cure disease? No. What do? We provide science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition programs with vitamins and minerals, essential oil fatty acids, amino acids, good food, bad food. We show you what to give the body to support and promote the body's ability to fix itself, and then we get the heck out of the way and let the body fix itself. And 9 times out of 10, guess what? The body fixes itself. Why? Because it can. Why does the body have the ability to fix itself? I don't know. Ask God. He's the one that made it. It does. This is the fundamental distinction between us and the MDs. The MDs believe that when you're sick, you're screwed. You have no choice other than to control the symptoms of your body with a synthetic pharmaceutical medicine that goes into the body and controls things, just like the communists. Pharmaceutical medicine is communistic. How about that? Stick that in your pipe and smoke it, Surgeon General. MD-directed pharmaceutical medicine is communistic in its action on the body because its design is to overpower and control every aspect of your metabolism because the MD does not believe your body can fix itself. We know that it can. Yesterday we talked about blood sugar. The day before that we talked about blood sugar. Today we're talking about high blood pressure. Actually, we're going to talk about calcium specifically and high blood pressure generally. There are 278 illnesses that are caused by not enough calcium in your body. 278. Let me give you a list of my favorite few. High blood pressure. Most of the time is a calcium and a magnesium deficiency. High blood pressure. Bad uterine cramps. Bad menstrual cramps when you're a young girl. I don't care how old you are. If you have bad menstrual cramps, it's not because you haven't gotten pregnant yet. It's not because you have a bad gene. It's because you have the wrong doctor. It's certainly not because you have a deficiency in birth control medicine, which is what the MD gives you to manage this problem. It's a simple calcium and magnesium deficiency. Chronic low back pain, a calcium and a magnesium deficiency. Ringing in the ears, a calcium and a magnesium deficiency. Vertigo, a calcium and a magnesium deficiency. Bad teeth, calcium and a magnesium deficiency. You need root canals, you have receding gums, it's a calcium and a magnesium deficiency. It doesn't have a damn thing to do with how much you floss. Zero. 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 It's got nothing to do with it. Weston Price figured that one out a long time ago. He researched the dental records and the teeth of people living in the jungles in South America. They had perfect teeth. They didn't floss. Why did they have perfect teeth? Because they were putting wood ash in their food. Most indigenous cultures do that. When you burn wood for food, if you're a part of an indigenous culture and you are close to the earth, you are tuned in to stuff that modern urban men and women just are clueless about. So what did they do? What did the rainforest Indians do? What did the Native Americans in this country do? What did the Vilcabambas do and the Hunzas do and the Bama people in southwest China? What did the Okinawans and the Sardinians all do? What did all of the people living in the 100-year-old blue zones around this planet do? They all cooked and heated with wood. And what did they do with the wood ash? They put the wood ash in their food, and they put the wood ash in their gardens. The white ash directly underneath the pot is called potash because that burns white. All the carbon's burnt away because that's the hottest part of the fire. The ash around the periphery is gray, so they put the gray ash in their gardens. They put the white potash in their bread, in their stews, in their food. Potash. You know what wood ash is? It's minerals. That's what it is. It's all minerals. The tree or the bush sucks the minerals out of the soil. Then you burn the tree or the bush. You can't burn the mineral. You burn the cellulose and the sugars and, everything else that's in the plant. But you can't burn a mineral. You need a blast furnace to degrade a mineral. Even with a blast furnace, it's almost impossible to do that. So the wood ash is mostly mineral supplements. And when you put that in your food and then eat that food, you're getting a multiple mineral supplement. This is what Weston Price got wrong. He thought that it was the introduction of the Western diet into these civilizations that changed everything. All the preservatives and all the high sugars and this, that, and the other thing. Well, no. Because what happened with these cultures is when they introduced the Western diet, they stopped putting wood ash in their food. That was the problem. Now, you can make the argument that what they were eating indigenously was better for them than the Western diet, but the biggest bugaboo here, the 100-pound gorilla that nobody even sees, Weston Price didn't even see this, was all of a sudden they stopped getting minerals in their body. All of a sudden they stopped getting the wood ash. All of a sudden they became minerally deficient. And when you become minerally deficient, i.e. when you lose calcium and magnesium and 58 other minerals in your diet, things start to break. So your gums recede. Or you get high blood pressure because there are arteries in your blood vessels. And the arteries constrict and relax to help the heart pump blood. The arteries need calcium and magnesium to do that efficiently. When they run out of either, they'll constrict, but they can't relax. And so when the blood vessel constricts but doesn't relax, the blood pressure spikes because the volume goes down, the area goes down, the volume remains the same, the pressure goes up. The single most common cause from our point of view of high blood pressure is chronic, undiagnosed calcium and magnesium deficiencies. Your MD got it wrong, then they get it wrong now, which is why you should fire your MD now. Marjay, thanks for calling. You are live.
Hello, Dr. Glidden. Thank you for taking my call.
Yeah, how can I help?
I called you about a month ago. A friend of mine with stage 4 cancer, breast cancer.
Yeah.
And just as a reminder, she has her Healthy Start pack, and she's taking as much of the chocolate and the Cell Shield as she can.
Yeah.
And my question is, I have a couple of questions. Her lungs are filling up. She has a permanent drain in her side. And I wanted to know, because you explain things so well, what causes the lungs to fill up? That's the first question. At the end of the drain, when the nurses come to drain it, it used to be like a reddish color, and now she says it's a golden color coming through the tubing. What is that about? And what else can we give her? She's on prescription pain medications because the pain is increasing. Is there anything else that Longevity has that we can use, that she can use, to help the pain?
Well, specifically, the only thing that could even come close that would perhaps be helpful would be some of the trauma oils, some of the essential oils that they have. But with pain of this nature, that's this advanced, I haven't seen anything. The only thing that I've seen help to kind of ease the burden here is a homeopathic medicine called Arsenicum album. So you may want to go online. There's one of my favorite companies to get homeopathic medicines from. It's called Homeopathy Overnight. They're in Philadelphia, I think, or somewhere in Pennsylvania. Just do a Google search, Homeopathy Overnight. Actually, I've memorized their phone number. It's 800-276-4223, 800-276-4223, and order one vial of Arsenicum album, A-R-S like Sam, E-N like Nancy, I-C-U-M, second word album, A-L-B like baby, U-M, in the 1M strength, 1M, Arsenicum album 1M. Give her 2 pellets 3 times a day for 3 days, orally. If that makes a difference in the pain, if it knocks it down substantially, you can keep giving her that, all right? This is a tough road. This is a tough road to hoe because this is a tough road to hoe, and the MDs have just let us down here because they should be able to fix this by now. I mean, $600 billion, that's quite a bit of money. They should have been able to figure this out, but they did not. So what are we going to do? We're going to do damage control. What the main cause of fluid accumulating in the lungs is the valves of the heart are not opening and closing efficiently. This leads to a condition called congestive heart failure, where fluid that's supposed to be in the heart, pumped out of the heart, backs up into the lungs. That's the most common cause of it. This is so in order to manage that, you want to look to see, have them do an echocardiogram of her heart and see if the heart is enlarged. If the heart is enlarged, then that's what's causing the backup of the fluid in the lungs. And an enlarged heart, most of the time, is caused by not enough selenium. It's called cardiomyopathy, and the heart actually gets bigger than it normally should be. It grows, swells. And it's called cardiomyopathy, and that's a very, very easy thing to measure with an ultrasound or an echocardiogram. If that's the case, then she needs selenium, because we give selenium in order to support and promote the health of the body in the face of a diagnosis of an enlarged heart. Do you know anything about the condition of her heart?
No, I don't. But I know that we already have her on selenium.
How much?
At this point, it's as much as she can take, because there's nausea all day long. But she's taking at least six capsules a day.
All right, good. So for nausea, constant nausea, get some oil of ginger oil, and put it in her belly button. Put the ginger oil in the navel topically, and see if that reduces the amount of nausea. The arsenicum album also may reduce the nausea. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now, if she's taking selenium and the heart's a normal size, then the next thing to think about on the diagnostic cascade here is not enough vitamin B, like baby B1, which is also called thiamine. The longevity B vitamin donor is called de-stress, like detoxify or demystify. It's called de-stress. It's the vitamin B donor. And so if she's not taking any extra vitamin B and she's got fluid backing up in the lungs, then that's what I would do. Okay. I've seen vitamin B supplementation completely eliminate congestive heart failure in 7 days. I've seen it completely turn it around. It's a really cool thing to watch. She's got nothing to lose in this regard. And
how much should she be taking?
You do what you can. 4 a day of the de-stress.
Okay.
And look, let this be good for you for, helping your friend out and for taking a step outside the box. And let this be a cautionary tale, because as it stands right now, it is 1,000 times easier to prevent cancer from happening than it is to fix it once it's already here. So, every once in a while I come across a patient who's had cancer and then they do something alternative and the cancer goes away. And there's a doctor in India that has a remarkable success rate with many different types of cancer just using homeopathy. And, there's thousands of people around the world who have fixed their cancer condition with whatever, but it wasn't conventional medicine. But all of this information is anecdotal, and it's secondary or tertiary, and nobody has this dialed in specifically, and it needs to be. And it's never going to be in our lifetime, because the pharmaceutical companies are never going to give up their death grip grasp on the research money, and we're just going to continue to pour money into the wrong hole. It's a dry well, and we continue to give it. We gave $600 billion of cancer research money to the profession that doesn't even know how to cure heartburn. They can't cure heartburn. They can manage it, but they can't cure it. And we expect them to cure cancer? You got to be kidding me. That's why they haven't cured cancer, because their methodology, their philosophy of healing is old-fashioned, outdated, juvenile, and pathetic, and they will never, ever, ever win this battle. So take your vitamins, take your selenium, stop eating the fried food, stop eating the other 10 bad foods, live long and prosper. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for the call.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate your support. Best of luck. Donna is up next. She says her husband needs a knee replacement. I don't think so. Donna, you are live. Thanks for calling.
Hi. So nice to be able to talk to you, Dr. Glidden. My husband is 65, He weighs, his dry weight is 190. He's a dialysis patient, so his dry weight is 190. He, of course, goes in, weighing anywhere from 195, 197 before he goes on dialysis.
Right.
He has he needs the knee replacement surgery, the doctor says. He's also bipolar with schizoaffective disorder thrown in there. He takes ECT treatments every 3 to 4 weeks in addition to all the medications that he takes. Of course, he's on dialysis 3 times a week. He has a high phosphorus and a high PTH factor. He takes Sensipar for the PTH, and that dose has gone from 30 to 90 milligrams, and his PTH is still high.
Yeah.
I have been on the products for about 3 months now, and I finally think I have convinced him to at least give them a try. But he's concerned about the dialysis, and he's very limited, in what he's supposed to eat and drink. And, of course, taking the OsteoFX, but he looks on the bottle and says the phosphorus content and all that. So we need to know what you would suggest for him to take. And also he takes other supplements. He takes a Nephrovite tablet, which is, I think, a B vitamin supplement, and he takes fish oil. Would he need to drop those or continue with those in addition to the products?
Well, for goodness sake, I mean, this is a big chunk of medical territory. How the heck are you holding up? That's what I want to know.
Well, I wasn't holding up too well until I went on the products, and amazingly, I have dropped 2 of my prescriptions. I was on Topamax and Cymbalta for headaches and depression, and I have dropped both of those. Haven't had those in about a month, and things are looking up for me. So that's what's encouraging him to try it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, good for you, and my heart goes out to you, because this is one of the hardest jobs in the world, is being a health care provider for somebody, whether you do it for a job or you do it for somebody in the family. If somebody in the family is sick and you're the person taking care of them, you're the primary health care provider. It's hard. I mean, it's a hard job. It's a thankless job, and it's just tough. But so this is almost the only problem that exists with your husband. The only thing that's standing between your husband and his health is the MD's juvenile view of anatomy and physiology and pathophysiology. Because I can tell you what to give him in order to optimize his health and to support and promote the health of his body, maybe so much so that he can come off dialysis. I've seen people come off of dialysis. I've seen it happen. It happens.
Right.
Sometimes it's not, with dialysis patients, most of the time it's not the kidney that's the problem. It's the blood supply to the kidney. The kidney is fine. And when you clean up the blood supply to the kidney, when you clean it all out, when you clean that filter out, so to speak, the kidney starts functioning just the way that nature intended it to.
Well,
but
supposedly his kidney problem is due to he got toxic on lithium several years ago, and they say, they being the doctors, that the lithium is what has done the damage to his kidneys.
Well, but did they specifically tell you what part of the kidney it damaged?
No, they did not. We know that he has cysts. His kidneys are full of cysts, but he does not have polycystic kidney disease, they say.
Well, and this is another thing. Your kidneys can be full of cysts. And when polycystic kidney disease develops, it develops in utero. It develops in birth. People have had the cysts their entire life, and they're just fine with them. And the only time that the cysts are found is when the doctor looks for something else, and then he sees, oh, my God, there's a cyst. We have to take it out. Well, no, you don't, you knucklehead. They've lived with it their entire life. There's no problem with, even if it is polycystic kidneys, it's not a problem, for goodness sake. But here's the deal, right? The point that I'm poorly attempting to make here is that I can tell you, and I will tell you what to give him. in order to support and promote the health of his body. And he doesn't need a knee replacement surgery. The only reason his MD thinks that is because that's all that the MD has to offer. The MD doesn't know what I know, so of course he's going to tell him he needs a fake knee because he's never seen anything else work, because he's never tried anything else. It's nonsense.
Right.
But the problem is, I can tell him or tell you what to give him, but the MDs doing the dialysis are going to convince him not to do it. And this is the problem. If he takes it in secret, then life is good and he stands a large chance of bouncing back, but this is the stumbling block. The people delivering the dialysis will tell him the wrong information, and this is a problem. Donna, whose husband needs help. He's on dialysis. His doctors are telling him he needs a knee replacement, and we got to do something. All right, so I'm going to tell you what I would do, Donna, to support and promote his health, and I just wouldn't even tell the MDs because they're going to give you all this nonsense about there's too much potassium in it, whatever, it's going to interfere with dialysis, and they have gotten it completely backwards. These nutrients are essential. His body needs them, and when he takes them, his kidneys will function better. He will respond better to the dialysis. He will be in less pain. His mentation will be better. And just like you, things start to brighten up and improve, and there is no way on God's green earth he's going to need a knee replacement if he does this program.
Well, I'm believing that.
Yeah, all right. Well, we fixed Theo Ratliff's knee. Theo Ratliff, was an NBA player. He made $100 million, $100 million in the NBA. And 5 years into his career, the best orthopedic doctors in the world told him he was done because he had bone spurs and osteoporosis and, needed knee replacement, needed joint replacement, and it had bad ligaments and tendons. And they told him he was done. He followed our advice. And for the next 3 years in the NBA, he led the league in rebounds, right? With medical nutrition, you can support and promote the health of bones and joints. It's easy. Now, how much does he weigh? Did you say 160?
He weighs 190.
190, okay. So per month, 2 healthy start packs, 1 extra bottle of something called Cal Toddy. That's an extra liquid calcium supplement. It's different than what's in the healthy start pack, though.
Cal Toddy?
Yep, Toddy, Cal, like calcium, Toddy.
Okay.
It's a SuperLife product. It's a Youngevity subsidiary. These are all available through Youngevity. He needs the glucogel capsules in the 240 count. He needs 3 of those a month. 3 of those a month. Actually, he doesn't. He needs 2 of the glucogel 240 and 1 of the glucogel 120 count. That's how much he needs. 2 of the 240 and 1 of the 120. He needs 1 Ultimate Daily capsule, 1 Ultimate Daily, 1 bottle of Ultimate Daily capsules per month. And last but not least, 4 bottles of Ultimate Selenium. 4 Ultimate Selenium. If he does that, he stands a remarkably high chance of getting back his health across the board. Now listen, what he needs to do is the same thing that you need to do, is the same thing that I need to do, is the same thing that everybody listening needs to do. In addition to taking the supplements, he has to stop eating the 10 bad foods. He has to stop that.
Okay.
Because from our point of view, it's the chronic consumption of these foods that paves the way for nutrient deficiencies. And so what we're trying to do here is fill up a bucket, so to speak, a nutrient bucket. But if he continues to eat these 10 foods, they're going to punch holes in that bucket, and so we're going to be pouring nutrients into a leaky bucket, and that isn't the greatest thing in the world. Now, that list you can get for free by opting into my website, my free email newsletter on the front page of my website. Just go to fireyourmdnow.com and opt in for my free monthly newsletter. I don't sell the email. We don't do any of that nonsense. It's all kept in-house. And we'll automatically send you the list of the good food, bad food with a little video that shows you why, all right? So let's be a little nutritional secret person here in the background. Give him these nutrients. See how he responds. And give me a call back with a report. Thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for being there for your husband, and most importantly, for taking a step on your own behalf and proving with your own life the wonders of medical nutrition. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Thanks so much for calling in. Tell your friends and family about this show, and I'll see you tomorrow.